Welcome to our comprehensive analysis of the most volatile stocks from July to September 2025. In this video, we'll break down the key trends, technical indicators, and possible scenarios for some of the market's most talked about tickers. Whether you're a seasoned trader or just curious about recent market movements, this deep dive will help you understand the forces driving these dramatic price swings. Let's start by setting the stage with a quick overview of what volatility means for investors and why it's been so pronounced in 2025. Amazon stock trading under Nasdaq. AMZN experienced notable volatility throughout the third quarter of 2025. Starting near 223.41 in July, it peaked at 238.24 in early September before sliding to 219.57 by month's end. This period was marked by repeated attempts to push higher, but persistent selling pressure kept the stock from sustaining gains. The overall trend in September was slightly downward, with a loss of about 7.8% from the peak. Let's explore what drove these movements and what they might mean for investors. During this period, Amazon's highest trading volumes occurred on August 1st and July 31st, coinciding with significant price shifts. The average daily volume hovered between 40 and 50 million shares, with the price ranging from a low of 211.42 to a high of 238.24. Notably, days with heavy selling saw higher volumes, signaling that sellers had more conviction than buyers. This pattern is important for understanding the underlying sentiment and the forces shaping short-term price action. Looking at moving averages, the 5-day EMA was slightly above the 5-day SMA, hinting at short-term bullish momentum. However, most longer-term EMAs and SMAs sat above the current price, indicating a bearish trend in the medium to long term. Interestingly, the 200-day EMA remained below the current price, suggesting that the long-term trend for Amazon is still bullish and could provide a support base if the stock continues to decline. Technical indicators for Amazon paint a mixed picture. The MACD is below its signal line, indicating bearish momentum, while the RSI sits at 40.57 neutral territory, neither overbought nor oversold. The stock is trading below the middle Bollinger Band, suggesting ongoing bearish pressure. The Arun down is much higher than the Arun up, confirming the downtrend, and the CCI is also negative. Collectively, these indicators suggest short-term weakness, but not yet at levels that typically attract bargain hunters. Linear regression slope for Amazon is slightly positive, hinting at a mild upward trend over the period. However, the low R-squared value means this model doesn't explain much of the price variation. The current price is below the regression's predicted value, suggesting underperformance relative to statistical expectations. This divergence can be a warning sign for traders relying on trend-following strategies. Based on recent price action and technical signals, Amazon's next opening price is likely to be close to its last close at 219.57. With bearish indicators in play, there's a chance for a slight downward gap at the open. If negative sentiment persists in pre-market trading, the stock could open even lower, possibly in the 218.5 to 219 range. Amazon's resistance levels are at 228.23, 231.28, and 240.26, while support sits at 216.19, 214.7, and 211.42. With the current price closer to support than resistance, there's more room for the stock to fall in the near term. The first significant support is the 200-day SMA, which could act as a safety net if selling intensifies. Average true range ATR for Amazon is 4.73, indicating moderate volatility. For the next trading day, the potential high is around 224.3, and the potential low is near 214.84. This range suggests that traders should be prepared for significant intraday swings, especially as the price approaches key support levels. Amazon breaks above the 20-day SMA, it could target higher resistance levels, but this would require a shift in sentiment or positive news. Conversely, a break below the 200-day SMA could trigger further declines, especially if accompanied by high volume. Alternatively, the stock may consolidate between these levels, waiting for a clear catalyst to emerge. In summary, Amazon is in a short-term downtrend but remains above its 200-day SMA, keeping the long-term outlook cautiously optimistic. Most technical indicators are bearish, but the neutral RSI suggests there's room for movement in either direction. Traders should monitor key support and resistance levels closely, as a decisive break could set the tone for the next phase. Palantir trading as Nasdaq. PLTR displayed significant volatility but an overall bullish trend from July to September 2025. Starting at 134.36, peaked at 187.99 in August and settled at 182.42 by September's end. Despite a pullback from the high, the stock remains well above its July level, indicating strong institutional interest and a positive underlying trend. Alantier's highest trading volumes occurred during sharp price declines in August, with daily averages around 50-60 million shares. The price ranged from 132.32 to 187.99, and the volume spikes during declines suggest that sellers were active, but the stock stabilized quickly, reflecting resilience and continued demand. 5-day EMA for Palantir is above the 5-day SMA, indicating short-term bullish momentum. Most shorter-term EMAs and SMAs are below the current price, reinforcing the bullish trend in the short to medium term. The 200-day EMA is far below the current price, highlighting a strong long-term uptrend and robust underlying support. Alantier's technical indicators are mostly bullish. The MACD is above the signal line and the RSI is at 63.96, approaching overbought territory. The stock trades above the middle Bollinger Band and the Arun up is higher than the Arun down, confirming the uptrend. The CCI is also positive, but the high RSI suggests a short-term pullback could be healthy. The linear regression slope for Palantir is strongly positive, with a relatively high R-squared value, indicating that the model explains much of the price movement. The current price is above the regression's predicted value, suggesting the stock is outperforming expectations and has strong momentum. For the next trading day, Palantir's opening price is expected to be near its last close of 182.42. With bullish indicators, there's potential for a slight upward gap, especially if pre-market sentiment remains positive. The stock could open in the 183 to 183.5 range if momentum continues. Resistance for Palantir is found at 190.22, 184.36 and 187.99, while support sits at 170.69, 168.91 and 170.21. The current price is closer to resistance, suggesting more room to rise if momentum continues. The first significant resistance is the recent high, which traders will be watching closely. ATR for Palantir is 6.75, indicating moderate to high volatility. The potential high for the next day is 189.17, while the potential low is 175.67. This wide range means traders should be prepared for significant swings, especially as the price nears resistance. Break above the recent high could see Palantir targeting the upper Bollinger Band and potentially moving even higher, especially if positive news emerges. If the stock falls below the 20-day SMA, it could test lower support levels. Alternatively, consolidation between these levels is possible as the market waits for a new catalyst. Alanteer remains in a strong uptrend, supported by bullish technicals and moving averages. However, with the RSI nearing overbought territory, a short-term pullback or consolidation could be healthy before the next move higher. Traders should watch for a break above the recent high or below the 20-day SMA for clues on the next direction. NVIDIA listed as NASDAQ, NVDA showed a strong bullish trend from July to September 2025. The stock started at 159.34, peaked at 187.35 and ended the period near its highs. This 17.6% gain reflects strong institutional support, with buyers stepping in on every dip and driving the price higher. NVIDIA's highest trading volumes were seen on September 22 and July 31, both coinciding with major price moves. The average daily volume was between 150 and 200 million shares, with the price fluctuating from 164.07 to 187.35. The rally was supported by increasing volume, a sign of strong buyer conviction. 5-day EMA for NVIDIA is above the 5-day SMA, indicating bullish momentum in the short term. Most shorter-term EMAs and SMAs are below the current price, reinforcing the bullish trend. The 200-day EMA is far below the current price, highlighting a powerful long-term uptrend. NVIDIA's technical indicators are overwhelmingly bullish. The MACD is above the signal line and the RSI is at 63.23, approaching overbought territory. The stock trades above the middle Bollinger Band and the Arun up is at 100, confirming a strong uptrend. The CCI is also high, signaling robust momentum. The linear regression slope for NVIDIA is positive, with a moderate R-squared value, indicating that the model explains a significant portion of price movement. The current price is above the regression's predicted value, showing that the stock is outperforming expectations and has strong underlying momentum. For the next trading day, NVIDIA's opening price is expected to be near its last close of 186.58. With bullish indicators, a slight upward gap is possible, especially if pre-market sentiment remains positive. The stock could open in the 187 to 187.5 range if momentum continues. Resistance for NVIDIA is at 185.76, 187.35 and 182.06, while support sits at 175.99, 175.37 and 173.41. The current price is close to resistance, suggesting a breakout could lead to further gains. Traders will be watching these levels closely for the next move. ATR for NVIDIA is 5.43, indicating moderate volatility. The potential high for the next day is 192.01, while the potential low is 181.15. This range suggests that the stock could experience a moderate intraday swing, with the upper end hinting at new highs if momentum persists. Breakout above the recent high could see NVIDIA targeting the upper Bollinger Band and potentially moving even higher, especially if positive news emerges. If the stock falls below the 20-day SMA, it could test lower support levels. Alternatively, consolidation between these levels is possible as the market waits for a new catalyst. NVIDIA is in a strong uptrend, supported by bullish technicals and moving averages. However, with the RSI nearing overbought territory, a short-term pullback or consolidation could be healthy before the next move higher. Traders should watch for a break above the recent high or below the 20-day SMA for clues on the next direction. Wolfspeed trading as NYSE. Wolf experienced extreme volatility and a parabolic rise in late September 2025. The stock started at 1.18 in July and soared to 28.6 by the end of September, a staggering 2,300% increase. This dramatic move suggests a short squeeze or a major positive catalyst that completely changed market sentiment. Wolfspeed's highest trading volumes were seen on July 7th and September 29th, both coinciding with major price moves. The price ranged from 0.8 to 34.28, and the recent rally was supported by increasing volume, indicating strong buyer conviction. However, such extreme moves often signal unsustainable trends. 5-day EMA for Wolfspeed is well above the 5-day SMA, indicating strong short-term bullish momentum. Most shorter-term EMAs and SMAs are below the current price, but the extreme price rise makes these indicators less reliable. The 200-day EMA is far below the current price, highlighting the magnitude of the recent move. Wolfspeed's technical indicators are extremely bullish. The MACD is well above the signal line and the RSI is at 93.83, deep in overbought territory. The stock trades above the upper Bollinger Band and the ARUN up is at 100, confirming a strong uptrend. The CCI is also extremely high, signaling unsustainable momentum. The linear regression slope for Wolfspeed is positive, but the low R-squared value means the model doesn't explain much of the price variation. The current price is far above the regression's predicted value, indicating a dramatic outperformance that is unlikely to be sustainable. For the next trading day, Wolfspeed's opening price is expected to be near its last close of 28.6. However, with extreme overbought conditions, a downward gap is likely as traders take profits. The stock could open significantly lower, possibly in the 26 to 27 range if selling accelerates. Wolfspeed is at an all-time high, so there are no clear resistance levels above the current price. Support is at 18.51, 14.44, and 11.2. The current price is far above all support levels, indicating a high risk of a significant pullback if momentum fades. The ATR for Wolfspeed is 2.57, but this likely underestimates current volatility. The potential high for the next day is 31.17, while the potential low is 26.03. Given the extreme price action, traders should expect a much wider range than usual. If momentum continues, Wolfspeed could keep rising, but this is less likely given the overbought conditions. A significant pullback is probable, with the stock potentially falling back to the upper Bollinger Band or lower. Alternatively, the stock may consolidate at current levels as the market digests recent gains. Wolfspeed's extraordinary rally has created extreme overbought conditions. While the technicals are bullish, the risk of a sharp correction is high. Traders should exercise caution as both large gains and losses are possible in this environment. A pullback to more sustainable levels seems likely in the near term. Skyquory, trading as Nasdaq, SKYQ, experienced significant volatility but ended the quarter slightly lower than where it started. The most notable movement was a spike on September 8th, followed by a gradual decline, indicating that initial enthusiasm was not sustained. SKYQ's technical indicators are mixed, with some bullish momentum but also signs of bearish pressure. The stock is in a consolidation phase with resistance at 0.72 and support at 0.4772. A break above resistance could signal a reversal, while a drop below support may continue the downtrend. Traders should watch for a catalyst to determine the next move. Ubaru, trading as Amex, BURU has been in a clear downtrend, losing nearly 59% from July to September 2025. Despite occasional spikes in volume, the stock has struggled to find buyers and most technical indicators remain bearish. A reversal is possible if the stock breaks above key resistance, but confirmation is needed before considering bullish position. Inefficient, trading as Nasdaq, BENF saw a parabolic rally in late September, jumping over 230% in a matter of days. This move was supported by extremely high volume, but technical indicators now show extreme overbought conditions. A sharp correction is likely, and traders should be cautious of both large gains and losses. Addictive Oncology, trading as Nasdaq, POAI, experienced significant volatility with a notable spike and subsequent decline in late September. The stock is currently in a consolidation phase with mixed technical signals. A clear directional move will likely require a catalyst, so traders should watch for breaks above resistance or below support. Dora Pharmaceuticals, trading as Amex, KNRX, has very limited trading data, making it difficult to establish a clear trend. The short-term movement appears bearish, but with only 2 trading days, more data is needed before making any significant trading decisions. Mart Digital Group, trading as Nasdaq, SDM, suffered a catastrophic decline of nearly 83% in Q3 2025. The most dramatic drop occurred on September 26, with panic selling driving the price down sharply. Technical indicators are extremely bearish, but the oversold conditions suggest a potential rebound if a positive catalyst emerges. SDM's technical indicators are overwhelmingly bearish, with the stock trading well below key moving averages and the lower Bollinger Band. However, the RSI is approaching oversold territory, and a significant rebound could occur if sentiment shifts. Traders should remain cautious as both large gains and further losses are possible. Third quarter of 2025 has been marked by extreme volatility across a range of stocks. From parabolic rallies to catastrophic declines, these movements highlight the importance of technical analysis and risk management. Whether you're trading momentum or waiting for reversals, staying informed and disciplined is crucial in such an unpredictable market environment.